Minnesota has an abundance of talented musicians. Welcome to A Taste of Talent on the Road, where we will chat with Minnesota musicians of any genre, talking about their story and their music, shining a light on diversity in local music. I am your host, Jacob Woody. Let's find out what is vibing in the hearts and souls of Minnesota music. This is A Taste of Talent on the Road. Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Taste of Talent on the Road. I'm Jacob Woody, and I'm joined by a very special guest, Kwaician and Traylor. Thank you much for coming on the show. And before we actually get going, I do have a little funny thing to say. Is I was somehow unprepared for today. I forgot a little piece of equipment back at my place, so it's going to be a little interesting to see what happens when he's playing. But Kwaician, thank you very much for joining, and you can play your first song whenever you're ready.
Never been the best with guidelines. Feel like they get in the way. Never been the best with heartbreak. Pain never truly fades. Never been more like my father than I am today. I don't know what's gonna save me. One thing still remains. I've got 1,000 years to be who I wanna be. I've got a millennium to figure out what can set me free. I don't know where this will go, but for now I found my hope in a wild desert road. Every question has an answer. Yours are here with me. Every mountain's gonna crumble, fall into the sea. Sometimes I feel your disappointment underneath this pain. Though I know what's gonna save you, one thing still remains. You got 1,000 years to be who you wanna be. Got a millennium to figure out. I can set you free. I can't say where this will go, but for now I found my home in the wild desert road. Wild desert road. Wild desert road. Desert rose. No, 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 no. Got 1,000 years to be who I wanna be. Got a millennium to figure out. You can set me free. I don't know where this will go, but for now I found my hope in a wild desert rose.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. And before we get going, why don't we introduce your little the person holding the mic for you?
Oh yeah, this is my bro Kylan. Yeah, you can say something. Hey everybody.
Thank you for helping out with this. Well, Kwaician, thank you very much for joining. It's been forever since we last spoke. It's been like 4 or 5 years, I think.
Yeah, it's been a bit. It's been a little bit.
What you been up to? What's been new? I know last time we spoke, you were trying to get into the Fargo Theater and perform there, which I heard you succeeded at, and you did a great job at it. What else you been going on?
Yeah, man, that was a long time ago.
It was a while.
That was 2017.
At least.
2017,
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so that happened. It was good. Really, just been trying to stay on the grind of being a musician, and then COVID happened, So
Yep.
since then, I released a project, and then I started working on another one. Then COVID hit, and then everything felt like it was up in the air. But personal life, man, I had, so after that show, I had just gotten married.
Oh, right. Yeah,
so
congrats, by the way.
I got married right after that show. And then, years later, I actually just had a daughter. So,
well, congratulations.
got a
Holy
little
buckets.
baby girl. And moved into a house and started doing music full time. So,
wow, it's all on the up and up for you,
yeah,
isn't it?
praise God.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jesus. So,
yes, very true. So why don't you talk a little bit about that tune? What was the inspiration for that one?
yeah, so that song is called Wild Desert Rose. And so that song's not quite released yet. I don't know when this is coming. Maybe it'll be there, maybe it won't. But that song basically is about it's tough to put it into words.
Sure.
So essentially, when you do self-evaluation, you realize that
Right.
you're not perfect. You're human. You have all of these flaws. And for me, when I realized that I have character flaws, then I want to fix them.
Right.
But it's not always that easy to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just because you recognize what's wrong with you doesn't mean that you have the tools at that specific moment to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that song was just, kind of an emotional vomit in a way. Never been the best with guidelines, so not good at following instructions or things that have been laid out by myself or things that just need to be done to keep boundaries that are in place to keep you in a certain place.
Sure.
I haven't been good with that. Never been the best with heartbreak. It feels like the pain never fades.
Mm-hmm.
Never been more like my dad. I feel like I get more and more like my dad every day, and he's a good man. But I didn't really grow up with him, so it's just kind of felt like some identity stuff that I was trying to figure out.
Sure.
And then just going to the hook, it's like one thing still remains. I've got 1,000 years to be who I want to be. So basically that just symbolizes time.
Ooh,
I have time to get all these things sorted out. And the thing is a lot of things you don't learn how to make them better. You don't learn how to sort through a lot of the mess, but with time.
Right.
So it's not in the way of procrastinating and waiting for, something to break, but in the way of however much time you have is how much time you need. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I got 1,000 years to be who I want to be. I got a millennium to figure out what can set me free, what can take me out of these cycles, what can, alleviate sometimes the stress and pain of not being perfect. And nobody really wants to be perfect, but you always want to continuously better yourself. When you realize you have some type of flaw, then you want to, you want to fix it, but sometimes you just can't. And it's I don't know where this will go, meaning I don't know what path I'm going to go down.
Right.
But for now, I found my hope in a Wild Desert Rose. And that's the name of the song. And Wild Desert Rose is just whatever brings you solace in that moment, whatever, whatever is helping you get through day by day, because sometimes, I'm a very solutions-based person. And sometimes there's no immediate solution to just, for example, maybe being selfish or, getting attached quickly. There's no solutions-based, resource to fix that right away. And it's but for now, I found my peace, my solace in that Wild Desert Rose, which is, just imagine a rose growing in the desert, nothing else around it. It's just this beautiful thing that's in a desolate place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and my Wild Desert Rose, that's Jesus. And, but he sends other things like people, like my brother.
Right.
Where it could just give you that peace while you travel down this road. So that's basically what that song is about.
Oh, I love it. And I also love all the little intricacies. How do you say that word?
Intricacies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All of it in that tune, and it's in all the symbolism and everything. It's just great.
Yeah,
I really
thank you,
enjoyed
man.
it.
Yeah,
It was
thank you.
awesome. Well, let's go way back into your very start. So how'd you get your start in music and playing guitar and
man.
all that? I know it's quite a long ways away, but
I ain't that old. No, I'm just kidding. No, so for me, grew up in a household where they just played music kind of like anybody else. You
Sure.
just put on what you like. For me, what I can really remember, so my father is a musician. my brother is a musician, and so on my dad's side of the family, it's kind of like where that creative blood flows. My mother's an artist, so that stuff just, I mean, it just does what it does. But where I can really remember, so from what my mom told me, she said when I was about 1 year old, not quite, or 1 year old, whatever, not talking quite yet, but just singing tunes. She would tell me there's a song called Mama by Boyz II Men that I would sing. Can't quite remember that far back, but I take her word. I love you, Mom.
There you go.
Take her word for it. But what I can remember is songs being on and hearing people sing and mimicking their voices. Kind of like, what do you call that? Like a voice actor, how they, do stuff like that. And then I just remember realizing, I don't know how old I was. Maybe my mom was like, that sounds really good, but she wasn't surprised because of my dad. But then I remember thinking like, oh, like I sound like this thing that I'm that I'm imitating, and it sounds like this person sounds good, so the fact that I'm doing it, like I sound good too. Right. So I was just mimicking stuff all the time. So then I started singing, doing all of that, and then when I was in between 15 and 16, I started playing guitar. So I haven't always been in Fargo. I've been here for like 8 or 9 years, something like that. Not quite 9, probably. Before that, I'm born and raised in Chicago. Then we moved downstate when I was about 12 years old to Carbondale, Illinois. And then right around that 15, 16, something like that, I picked up guitar because they had like a class, just like math, but it was guitar for people who couldn't play. Sure. And so I was like, well, if I attach kind of like a necessity to me playing guitar, meaning like the grade, I'm going to be graded on this, I'll probably do better at it. So I got a $40 Walmart guitar that my brother won in a raffle, my youngest brother, and started learning to play guitar. And then I just got hooked on it. So that was that.
So then what was the first tune you wrote?
Oh, man. So I actually didn't write my first song until I was here in Fargo, and I was 17.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so it took me a little bit. I'm like, every day, I'm like, okay, I can play guitar a little bit. And, so I was raised on R&B and, hip-hop, stuff like that. That's pretty common in the black household, but not always. I mean, it just is.
Yes, very true.
It's all good. And but then I got into guitar, and oh my gosh, the first time I heard Green Day, bro, I'm like, okay, what is this? And it's crazy. I know people get sensitive with this stuff, but I just am who I am, so whatever. But so growing up where I grew up, like, I mean, obviously there are different ethnicities in Chicago, but south side of Chicago, like everybody was black. Everybody looked like me except for maybe like the police or people who are in positions of authority, principals, stuff like that. So I never really had interactions like that. So I moved downstate, and it's close. It's like 2 hours from Missouri. That's where Carbondale is. And I start seeing people with like colored hair. And just imagine, so I'm 24 now. So this was probably like, this was, over 10 years ago, 12 years or something like that I moved that way. So it's a lot different than it is now, where you have all of this stuff and all of these people who are just doing everything. You see everyone is really more of a melting pot. But, I get there and, you see stuff like that. Well, me anyway, being a bit sheltered, you see stuff like that on TV. You see the kids with the, shaved heads, but right in the middle, there's like a mohawk, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, this is like, I'm literally the first thing I thought, I'm like, this is a myth. Like, I'm like, this exists for real. They're really, or like the emo, like, swoop and all black. I didn't grow up with people like that. I didn't grow up with people that do that, look like that, listen to music like that. So I got there and I was like, oh man, this is amazing. So I pick up guitar and a lot of R&B and stuff like that. It's more electric instruments, so you hear electric guitar and stuff like that. But I picked up an acoustic guitar. Okay. So first thing, people are like, Johnny Cash and, acoustic stuff like Green Day, and then you get stuff like Fleet Foxes and, Sublime and things like that. So I'm like, I have no idea what any of this is at all. I don't know. But they're like, we're going to learn this song. And so they got a book, and we're just learning songs, learning chords. And so I'm like, okay. And so then I have, friends in high school where I did 2 years of high school in Carbondale, and then I did my last 2 years in Fargo, at Fargo South. Okay. And so we're there, and, I'm like, okay, I'm becoming friends with them. What are you all listening to? And then I'm starting to like it. I'm like, oh, like, I'm playing guitar, so I noticed the guitar in the song now. And then I'm like, I like it, so then I want to play it, and then it just started branching out. So even though I grew up kind of on more, urban music, as some people would call it, my heart really like went towards acoustic stuff as soon as I started playing. Sure. So then I got into stuff like City and Color, and then I learned about oh my gosh, then I learned about like Parachute, stuff like that. Then I learned about Paramore. Oh my goodness, my world was opened up.
Well, I think it is time for another tune.
All right, cool.
Light is low, still we have so far to go. And the earth is warm, my soul can feel the distant heart. Oh, the air is cold, for now you're in my arms to hold. And the moon is high, I'll wipe the tears from your eyes. Ooh, now the night is still, beats at a steady pace. Oh, you're not alone. One day we'll be on our own. Ooh.
That's all I can remember.
It's perfect just the way it is. I love that tune. I love how your songs always have a lot of symbolism and just a good flow to them. Yeah, I've always enjoyed that about your music.
Thank you, man. I appreciate people listening to the actual words. It's kind of tough to get people to do that these days, but that's dope. Thank you.
Yeah. I got to mention that so we did have that one interview years ago, and I kind of want to apologize because it was at the beginning of me getting into radio. I had no idea what I was doing.
Oh, it's all good, man.
I tried to re-listen to it, and it was a little too cringy for me to hear the questions I was asking, and there was no flow of a big conversation. But so this is a lot better, I think.
It's probably better on me too, man. It was a while back. We both probably learned a lot, so don't sweat it.
True. Okay. Good. But I did get to the part where you did mention that you were shooting for the stars and trying to perform at the Fargo Theater. Yeah. And how'd that go?
It was good. Looking back, I mean, you just get better. So you're literally talking about an interview that you did, probably one of your first few ones, and now we're talking about one of my first big gigs that I did. So looking back, the me that's looking like back then, I was like, oh, it was good. There are things that could have been better. But, I mean, me being critical on myself was like, oh, that was weak. Like, that's just, you look back and you think that, but it definitely was a stepping stone for me, man.
Sure.
That I wouldn't change anything about it. I would do it again. I would do that for sure, but I wouldn't change anything about it. I actually wrote a song. So the way that I even got there was I went in there one day and the Lord just told me that I could play this, that I could rent the venue and that I could do it. And I did it with another artist named Jaden Sean, actually. So we co-did it, but he had told me, and then I wrote a song because I feel like, when you believe something, if you have faith in something, then there has to be an action that's a manifestation of that faith, because anybody can just say, like, you can tell somebody I love you, but if you don't show them, then, who knows if it's empty words or not.
Right.
So whatever's in your heart is what you do. It was good though.
Good.
It was good.
And I'm guessing a good turnout too.
It was. I think it was like, well, I mean, looking back now, logistically, like I said, it was weak. But Man, 900, so 900 capacity or something like that. We
Yeah.
did 130 something people came.
That's not bad. That's really good.
I mean, just looking in the grand scheme of things, years ago where I was, where type of music I had, the quality of it, all of that, the amount of people that came was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was good. We broke even.
Hey,
So,
that's the plus side.
Hey, broke even. So thank you, Jesus. That's a good thing. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so you said that you've also been doing CDs and all that and albums.
Yeah.
And also, I do want to thank you for the time you played at the Taste of Talent concert
Yeah.
series I did.
Oh, my gosh.
It was just great. I wish the recording of it was better. We can maybe even play it for them later on.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for doing that. And so you said you had CDs, like I mentioned. And how many do you got out at the moment?
Man, so just projects that I have. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, like let's say 4.5. So I have just say 5 different bodies of work, but something like that. So things have, it was already kind of like this, but things have definitely changed. Physicals, people don't really want them, but they do want them. So I still keep them because my philosophy is, even if you never crack, the tape off of it, even if you don't have anywhere to play it, you have something that physically connects you and I now. Right. So it's a difference between there being these digital words on your phone and being like, oh, and just think about Justin Bieber for a second. Some people don't like him, whatever, who cares? I like Justin Bieber and I like his music. But just think about this. If it's like Justin Bieber has a new album, okay, I go to Apple Music and I click it. And, now I'm like connected to him very minimally. But just imagine if you're like, if you see him and you're like, he's like, I have this one song, and he gives you a CD, and it doesn't matter. Like, your response is not going to be, I don't have a CD player. It's not going to be, what is this? It's going to be, oh, this person that I know and that I feel connected to has given me something. And now there's a physical bond between you and that person. So that's why I love merch and I love CDs and stuff. So, yeah, I got a few.
Yeah.
And working on some more, man. Bring the physicals back.
Oh, I hope so. And the good thing is the vinyls came back.
Vinyls, yeah. And I'm working on that too, man. Vinyl is a whole different beast, though.
Oh, yes. And a little bit more expensive, too.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Because I'm kind of that same way, too. I like to give materialized things to people because then they also remember more.
Yeah.
Like, they remember how you were and everything.
Yeah.
And when you go, oh, just go to the YouTube channel, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Then there's not that big connection, as you were saying.
And even with that, so that happened. So me and my brother, Kylan, we go downtown every Friday and Saturday that we're in town, and we go downtown busking. And so I've been doing that for years, but with the pandemic, all of that stuff that happened, it really turned into me wanting to breathe life back into Fargo.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, music really just took it in the shorts, live music when it came to COVID and all of that stuff. And I'm just thankful to God that I was able to do full-time music through all of that, because it's picking back up now. But I would just go out there this past summer, way beginning, and just, just play. And people they would look at me weird, because you got some people that are afraid and all of this. And it's all good. I mean, to each their own. There's how you feel is valid. But people are looking weird, and some people are like really yearning for that, though. They're like, I haven't heard anything I haven't seen a person in a long time. So it started with that last year.
I think of this, and tell me if you agree with this, but once this whole thing kind of gets a little bit better and all the music starts ramping up, it's going to be like a new renaissance. And people like us have to charge that and lead it.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, people are yearning for it, and I am too, to try and just get more live music, and it's going to, people want to overcompensate for it. I've
had a lot of conversations with artists where they say, a lot of people fell off the face of the earth, essentially. And, that's no fault of theirs, in a sense, it was kind of unsustainable for some people. And I just know that it was God that kept me going and enabled me to continue to make music and generate, wages. You know what I'm saying? Doing this for all the people who were gone, and not all of them, but a lot of them, especially artists who aren't super well known, like myself. I'm not an Ed Sheeran, I'm not a John Mayer, I'm not a household name quite, not yet. And so for all of those people, if you dropped off the face of the earth, you're gonna have to kind of rebuild because you've been hibernating. You know, but what we've really tried to do is just keep up creative ways to stay relevant. You know, with TikTok and Instagram videos and, you know, competitions and just saying hey to people and, you know, doing the downtown thing. So, yeah, I think that when it does come back around, the people who have done that, and this is just my opinion, will definitely be the trailblazers in that. And hopefully I'm one of them.
I foresee that happening. I will believe that, and it won't surprise me when it happens.
Let's go.
Well, let's hear another song, but actually we can show, if it's okay with you, the performance you did at the Taste of Talent.
Yeah.
And hopefully, and if I'll try and edit it a little bit better to make it sound better.
Yeah.
But I know you did Wayfaring Stranger.
Yeah. Oh, I can do that one now.
And and I'd like to show that now. So here's Kwaician Traylor playing at Taste of Talent. I believe it was the third one I did, showing to you now.
I am a poor, wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world alone. There is no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright line to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there, no more wrong. I'm only going over Jordan, and I'm only going over home. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, I know dark clouds will gather round me, and I know my way is rough and steep, and the beautiful fields lie just beyond me, and I know my way is rough and steep. I'm going there to see my father. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan, and I'm only going over home, over home, over home, no. I am a poor, wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world alone. There is no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my father. I'm going there, no more wrong. Only going over Jordan, I'm only going over home.
You're tuned in to A Taste of Talent on the Road, and I'm Jacob Bodie. I'm here with Kwaician. I really, again, thank you for doing this. And what do you got going on now? Is there anything big coming up other than the downtown stuff and all of that? What's going on?
Yeah, so for now, I feel like I'm still kind of hidden a little bit.
Sure.
And with the artists, it's like you can work as hard as you want to, but when the time comes, it comes.
I'd like to talk about your songwriting.
Yeah.
Because I love it because your lyrics and your themes and everything, I just love what you put into your music.
Man, thank you.
How do you get into your mood of songwriting? So as you said, a lot of them maybe come from the Lord and all that, but maybe even dreams of some sort? Or?
Yeah. So the way that I write, I wouldn't say, so I am a Christian for sure. I don't really deal with the denominational stuff and the religious stuff. It's just not my thing, It's I just don't go there. But I will say that I believe that Jesus Christ is Lord and he's the only way into heaven, because we're just flawed, kind of like that song that I was talking about, and we don't have the ability to save ourselves. We just don't,
Wild as a rushing wind, overflow of innocence. Half a heart to turn you down, but I take a breath and breathe you in. Sweet as honey, love the taste. I know my heart is meant to race. Broken pieces all around. Still, I hope you'll settle down. Sunrise till sunset. Mountains take my breath. How could I forget? Wish they all would last forever. Oceans have their tide. Moonlight paints the sky. Can't have you tonight. Your memory still lasts forever. Hey, hey, oh, oh. Casting stones across the riverbed. In my memory, I left you there. Hide and seek, a game that we can share. You know I'd follow you. I don't think I can let this go. Fill me up till I overflow. I'm running over, but I wish you well. Feelings deeper than a wishing well. Sunrise till sunset. Mountains take my breath. How could I forget? Wish they all would last forever. Oh, oceans have their tide. Ooh, moonlight paints the sky. Can't have you tonight. Memories still last forever.
Beautiful.
Thank you, bro.
Oh, you're welcome. And I also, another thing talking about your songwriting is I also like the form of it. It's you have the different moods of it that flow through it, and I just love it. I really
Man,
do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Don't make me blush on here. Okay?
Well, that's fine. You're welcome. So where can people find your music?
Oh man, That is the best part. You can find my music anywhere they do music, except for don't look on SoundCloud, because I don't do SoundCloud. But Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, those are like the 3 big ones. Tidal, Instagram. If you like any of the songs, hit the music tab on there, add it to your story. Instagram, and wherever else to have music, so you can find it there.
Neat. So everywhere, pretty
Yeah,
much.
right
Dang,
under
that's
my
pretty
name,
good.
Kwaician. So Kwaician.
Oh, here, let's talk about this. Your tone of your voice.
Oh, man.
How did this come about? Did it, like, a lot of training go into it, or is it just pretty much from the get-go? It was just that perfect.
Oh man, thank you. You got away with words, man. Thank you. No, I did choir every year except for 2 years. So, preschool through K through 12, I did choir. I haven't been to college, so I didn't go to university or anything like that. So proficiency comes with practice.
Right.
With anything, I don't quite believe in perfection except for God, but not in human form, or in my kind of human form anyway. No perfection, but practice makes better, and practice makes proficient for sure. So I would say what was probably most important to me with my vocal tone. I mean, my voice, I have what I have, but stylistically, I'm kind of learning that as an artist, you kind of figure out who you are by listening to other people and singing what you like. So before I wrote any songs, I was singing and playing to myself. I didn't really do like a cover band thing or anything like that. I knew I always wanted to be a songwriter, so I just skipped that step. But learning songs that you like, and then, any artist, what you'll do is you can't be that person. So for me, my big 3, it was Dallas Green from City and Color, John Mayer, and Ed Sheeran. Those are my top 3.
Sure.
And then, close fourth would be Parachute. I can never be Ed Sheeran. I can never be John Mayer. I can never be Dallas Green.
Mm-hmm.
But, when you're trying to learn, you emulate them.
Right.
But when you emulate someone, all you do is take the best parts
Yep.
the best parts from them. But that's only the best parts that you think are the best parts. Somebody else who would listen to the same artist maybe take some things that I don't quite like from them, and then you build yourself by other things that you listen to. So I mean, I'm sure. Actually, I would like to know who people think my influences are based on who I sound like. But I'm sure you can hear notes of different people in there, but I'll never be those people, and that's kind of just how you create a melting pot, which is who you are.
Right, and that's kind of the whole thing with when you're writing music is you're taking from your inspirations. You're like you said, you're kind of cherry picking in from your different influences. And also we've talked a lot about religion and stuff in the show, and I'm guessing that also has a big effect
for sure.
into your songwriting, and that's another big play as well. And when it comes to that, how do you try and distinguish what you want to take from those influences?
I guess for me, it's just what I like. If it sounds good, it is good.
Right.
That's how my thing is. So a lot of people are like, I can't play guitar, or I've taught, giving lessons and stuff, and I'm like, it's great to know all of this stuff, but knowing things on paper is not the same as being able to put it into practice.
Right.
So I'm like, just use your ear. If it sounds good to you, it probably is good. It's that simple.
Well, speaking of which, let's hear another one.
Yeah.
I thought I had it all before I lost it. I couldn't fix the bridges that I'd burned. I never was the type to lose my focus. Never seen the picture all along. I've come a mighty way from where I started. Never thought the journey'd be so long. A fork inside the road is where we parted. I couldn't make it this far on my own. In your loving arms, by your words of wisdom. You're my guiding light, leading me back home. Though the road may be wide as the journey is long, though my soul may be tired, I know my heart will stay strong. Down the straight and narrow, straight and narrow, straight and narrow, straight and narrow. My heart is like the ocean's deepest waters. From time to time it carries me away. You pulled me out the ocean's strongest current, stretching out a hand to rescue me. Looking back at all the mess I've made, looking back at everything I've done, I don't deserve the grace that you give me. I'll show you that my best is yet to come in your loving arms, by your words of wisdom. You're my guiding light, leading me back home. Though the road may be wide as the journey is long, though my soul may be tired, I know my heart will stay strong, strong. Down the straight and narrow, straight and narrow, straight and narrow, straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Again,
man. Thank you,
I've said this many times, but I really love your songwriting. Now, that was
Man,
a
thank
great
you.
song.
Thank you.
And when it comes to your performing, and I know a lot of other performers are like this, and I'm kind of guilty of it as well, but do you ever try to distinguish, like, you being on stage, or if someone comes to see you on the streets, just would you try and be the same person, or is it a totally different person altogether?
Nah, it's the same person. So that's literally why I don't have and this is not knocking anyone who does, because all the people that do are mega cool, and I'm just not mega cool in that way. But that's why I just dress in my streetwear.
Okay.
When I do gigs, I'll do a gig just like this. And
Sure.
that's just my thing. That's just what I do. I always tell people, when I get done, come say hi. I'm always when I meet people, I'm like, hey, probably not going to remember your name because I'm just not the best with names. It's just who I am.
Me neither.
But I will definitely remember you. Come say hey, you know what I mean? So what I write about is my life. So when I'm on stage, I guess I would say the differentiation is probably easier to talk about. That is going to be, I want to have a level of proficiency. I don't believe in perfection, but I do believe in excellence for sure. So I want to be excellent when I get up there, because I just think about it, I gave up college for this. I put my heart into these songs, and I just want it to be, I want to convey it in the most pure manner that I can.
Sure.
So one thing for me is I try not to have any bad blood between me and anyone ever. And I think I've done a good job, at that. If I haven't, whoever, sorry, I love you so much. Hit me up on Instagram or something. But, I try not to get in any altercation before I go on stage, because I write about like love and things that are that should be deemed pure, and because we're human, it's not always like that. And I write about my life, so it should be as transparent as possible whether you see me in the grocery store or on stage. So I try to keep it the same.
And that's always good because that means you're more approachable as well.
I'm just
like,
me.
You're not going to be like, oh, no, sorry, no, I don't have time for you. It's going to be like, hey, what's up? Yeah, you came to that show. Good to see you.
Yeah, and it's like that now, and I hope it never. Well, I don't know what I want, man. I'm just human. I can say I want something right now, and then I get it, and then I don't want it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it is time for the final tune.
Oh man.
No
Final
pressure.
Tune. This song is called Hollow, and it's a song that I wrote when I was really feeling. The song that I wrote when I was feeling like I just wanted to shed all responsibility. Every title that I have, that comes with responsibility, man, husband, worship leader, Christian, all of that. And I mean, obviously I didn't really want to shed that, but I just felt like I just wanted to rip everything off and run away. This is kind of my conversation to God about being empty and wanting to be filled back up after I go do what I got to do. So this song is called Hollow.
Man in the glass house is always a stone's throw away from hearing the truth. Moments of self-doubt in my way, I'm rolling through the pain to get back to you. I've been traveling all over these winding roads. I'll be back again with my heart sober and hollow. Oh, I'm jaded and washed out on my way with all that I can take and nothing to lose. I know you're the way out one day. Maybe you can share a new point of view. I've been traveling all over these winding roads. I'll be back again with my heart sober and hollow. Oh, I've been traveling, I've been gone all over these winding roads. I'll be back again with my heart sober and hollow. Whoa, yeah.
Hey, thanks for listening for a bit.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching to A Taste of Talent on the Road. I'm Ben Jacob Woody. This is Kwaician Traylor. Any last
Bye.
words?
Man, be encouraged, be blessed in Jesus' name.
Perfect last ending. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. The following program has been brought to you by the Minnesota Arts, Cultural, and Heritage Fund. If you like what you hear and like to hear more, you can check out nijiradio.org or prx.org. I am Jacob Woody, and you've been listening to A Taste of Talent on the Road. Thank you so much for your time.